Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome PhD student for the second semester 2019-2020 academic year, and inshallah we are going to start the English course, starting by the lecture research methodology. The speaker assistant Dr. Asmaa Hadi Muhammad Alwaeli, and inshallah for the close future, because of the, as you know, everybody at home, because of the threat of corona viruses, and hopefully this problem is going to finish soon, and we can carry on the classes at the university. The first thing from the research methodology, the expectations, as you know, we have to put a plan, and we have to put the expectation of course benefits. So from this course, or from this research methodology, we have to get or gain an advanced understanding of research. Its classifications are requirement for each: ability to deal with the problem and handle it, acquire the skills of identifying some scientific vocabularies. Vocabularies are very important. You are going to deal with them when during these taught courses, plus when you start writing up your thesis. Also able to write and compare among a letter, paper, and dissertation. Able to make a perfect PowerPoint presentation. Gain the skills to present your research. Learn to work as a team work. So let's start the research methodology. What is a research? Everybody, if he squeezes his brain, he has got an idea about research. Some people, they said that is a problem. So somebody else, he probably has got questions raises in the brain, and we need to solve it. Some others can describe research as studying. Some others they can say that is a type of digging out solutions for some questioning or some problems. Some might have an experiment, so we can get results of collecting data about it. So if we define research, we can say that careful or diligent search, or also studious inquiry or examination, especially investigations or experimentation, aimed at the discovery and interpretation of fact, revision of accepted theories or laws in the light of new facts, or even practical applications of such new or revised theories or law. Or probably the third definition, we can describe the research as the collecting of information about a particular subject. All these are definitions for research. If we can mix them all up in one definition, we can say that they define research as systematic plan for conducting research and gathering data to support the hypothesis under investigations. From that, we have to know exactly what is a research and how we can define it, and then we can make the hypothesis of the research that you do. Hypothesis is something different from the theory, and hypothesis, for example, is a digging out informations, data, analysis about a certain subject, but after that we have to prove all these data by others and make the confirmations. Then we can transfer the hypothesis to theory. Okay, so why we undertake research? We have got reasons behind that. What are they? To investigate some existing situation or problems, to provide solutions to a problem, to explore and analyze more general issues, to construct or create a new procedure or system. also to explain a new phenomena, to generate a new knowledge, a combination of two or more of any of the above reasons. So that's why we undertake the research. Okay, we have to dig out the solution of the questions, studying a new phenomena, whatever. All these things we have to. That's why we go through the research in order to find these solutions. Okay, so the research theme can, as you know, that when you put the research, when you want to do the research, you have to make for any studying, you have to make a feasible study, what we call it a dirasa jadwa, or a plan for that. So as is a type of research. So the research theme should includes the professional experience, burning questions, literature, professional meetings, and discussion. It means all of these things you have to put it in a plan. Then you have to cover up the theme of the that research you want to do with each theme. So as you know, we've got different types of verses. I put a comparison between two that I found it opposite to each other, like descriptive versus analytical research, applied versus fundamental, quantitative versus qualitative, conceptual versus empirical. So we are going to introduce the comparison, a simple comparison about these researches. For example, descriptive researches attempt to determine, describe, identify what it is. Okay, these can describe the descriptive, something determine, describe, identify what it is, describe a particular phenomena, focusing upon the issue of what is happening or how much it has happened rather than why it is happening. For example, if you go to for the biologist, he's following up a protocol in order to an experiment, while if you go through the physicist, he has to understand and give interpretation why you do this step rather the other step. So that's why we have to distinguish between the descriptive versus the analytical. So an analytical research attempts to establish why it is that way or how it came to be like that. So that is an opposite idea about the descriptive and analytical research. Okay, the second thing is fundamental versus the applied research. The fundamental is a basic, while the applied is a type of application of something at the field. Is something the basic is something deals with the theoretical part, while applied is a quick answer from the field or from the experiment to get that without giving or depending on too much science of the others. Sure, you do about the survey of researchers, but still in the field there is some other contributors can make can change the results or the data that we've got from the basic or theoretical research. More invasive, less invasive, laboratory-based, field-based. What are the difference between laboratory-based and field-based? In case of laboratory, is more controlled. You can, for example, you can control the pressure, the temperature, the other contributions or other parameters that you are at the lab. While in the field, many parameters that you are not able to control, so that can contribute in the results or changing even the data. Many times you can find something results completely different from the laboratory based. Tightly controlled, as I said, loosely controlled, lacks external validity because depending on the theoretical things is something either you imagining, define guessing, or putting a prediction of things, while extremely valid. Why is that? Because it does come from the facts from the field itself, focusing on mechanism, focusing on the effect that is happening because I did this experiment, while that one just depending on the mechanism, the steps of the mechanism. more reductionist, less reductionist. That is, more reductionist, that less risk, I say. Less reductionist has a more risk in the work. The other research is a quantitative versus the qualitative research. Quantitative use of a statistical, formulaic, or numerical analysis to generate results. So the main approach is analysis, causal determinations, predictions, generalization, or findings. All these together, they do mix, and the result should be percentage, less or better, whatever, positive, negative, whatever. While in the case of the qualitative, the use of non-numerical techniques means that main approach, discovery, elimination, understanding, exploration to similar circumstances. The results that you have got, this is a new way of solving our problem. Okay, in case of theoretical versus the empirical, theoretical research generally uses the finding from existing works to develop a new idea through analysis, analyzing existing theory, and exploration. These new ideas are not tested through collecting evidences in the form of the primary data, while the empirical research supports the development of new ideas through the collection of data. It means that empirical, something is observations of measurements rather than theoretical reasons. Okay, the basic steps of a research project: find a topic depending on what and when, formulate questions what and why, define a population, who and when, select, design, and measurements, how, gather the evidences, how, interpret evidences, why, tell about what you did and find out. And what did you find out? Okay, research process. Basically, review the available literature depending on the last studies, and after that formulate the questions or the problem that you want to search for it, and then after that make the appropriate design, make the experiment, collect the data for that, and make the interpretation for that finding you've got. It's very important for the researchers to publish the findings in order to preserve his rights, plus other people can find or know about his research, and they can follow or continue his work. Okay, so we reached to the type of methodologies, which these methodologies can involve the qualitative measures and the quantitative measures. Qualitative measures can include descriptive and numbers, not the primary focus, while the quantitative measures can N for numbers and statistical parameters. Okay, so we have to keep in mind all the time, no study is perfect. Measurement involves making choices, and sometimes for example, we do a lot of work, and at the end we are not getting the data or the results. This is, you did very well. You prevent people from following out the same track. Probably it's not powerful to do the research. It means that you avoid other people to do that. So don't feel panic. You just go through it and finish the work. Okay. At the end, I've got a list of the active verbs for literature review that you are going to use it during the thesis or dissertation, which are very important to know. What I need from you to find out, to make up these verbs, plus find out the synonyms of these verbs, plus you put each verb in a proper sentence. Thank you very much. I'm waiting for your feedback, and welcome once again for the online lectures. Thanks.